this is Tracy with Inside Pool Magazine. At it again. I've been searching and searching the internet, and I've come up with a couple of more kids that are amazing. But we're going to start off Sunday with Gage. Gage is a 16-year-old out of the Georgia area. We haven't had a Georgia area kid in yet, and he's going to represent Georgia fairly well with a Fargo 533. I have a feeling he's going to be some competition for some people over in Meridian, Mississippi. Well, I'm going to run this promo video of Gage's. You guys check out some of these photos, and we'll be right back.
Break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings.
Hi guys, this is Tracy, right back at you. I'm going to introduce these two big hammers over here. I hear some great things coming out of Georgia. Would you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Gage.
And I'm Gage Mouret.
And like I said, they're out of, I believe it's Cummings, Georgia is where you guys are from. Could you tell me what part of Georgia that is?
It's about 40 minutes north of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are kind of close to Chattanooga, that area. Southern South Carolina, I believe, is over in that side. Awesome. Gage, how old are you?
I am 16.
And are you currently enrolled in school, or are you homeschooled right now?
I am homeschooled right now. I'm enrolled in Penn Foster High School. It's basically a one at a time, move on when ready class kind of thing. So you only take one class at a time. And
awesome.
So you're not on a full load. And I'm also dual enrolling at North Georgia Tech college. So
congratulations.
Yep.
You've got a go-getter, Dad.
Yeah. I should graduate with my associate's degree. So
well, phenomenal. I bet your parents are very proud of you. I like to hear the kids going for it. I mean, education is where it's at. We all need a little education from time to time to make us better people. I'm very excited to hear your story after you finish college.
Yeah.
Can you plan on my computer's being crazy. I'm having a little technical issues, guys. We've got a storm moving through, so if it cuts out, just bear with us. So, Gage, what is? I heard you had a Fargo of 533. How long have you been playing pool, sir? And we are at a stall.
Oh.
There it is. I think we're back
2 years.
now.
No,
2 years?
Yeah,
Give me 1
competitively
second.
For 2 years. Yeah.
Having issues, guys.
2020.
We're moving through. Okay, could you repeat that? My whole screen froze because it's lightning outside. Could you repeat that for me,
about
please?
2 years. Started playing in 2020, so we're
fantastic. Make sure all these things are connected. They are. Okay. Give us a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm having some technical issues coming out of the.
You're freezing up a little bit.
We're freezing up. This storm's getting a little choppy outside. I thought it was going to go around us, but I guess it's not.
Oh.
Just give us a minute. Still freezing.
All right.
Oh my God. Okay, give me 1 second, Gage. I'm gonna pull you out again. Give us a minute, ladies and gentlemen. This does happen from time to time due to the weather. Here we are. Does it seem a little better, or am I still choppy, guys?
No, you're better now.
Okay. Fingers crossed we can get through this.
Fingers crossed.
My goodness, every time. Okay, we're going to go down the list really quick. So, what is your home pool room that you're playing out of right now, Gage?
Q's Billiards in Marietta.
Marietta in the house. Love it, guys. Thank you for allowing these kids over there. Is that where you're currently playing your leagues out of, Gage?
Yes, that is where I'm currently playing.
In North and East LJ.
Oh yeah, and East LJ Pool Hall. That's where I play APA.
Oh, okay. So you guys have a doubles team out of there, Dad?
No, well, we play tap at Q's, and I'm on his team, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Some of the photos I saw you in there, like almost coaching or possibly playing with your son. And that's awesome that you get to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
At what age did you begin to your love of pool, Gage? Do you remember?
I started playing pool pretty young, about 5 probably. I picked it up. And I didn't really take it seriously up until 2020. So about 14 is when I kind of started.
So I'm assuming that you were kind of like the other kids. You had all that downtime with everything that was going on with COVID. You had a lot of free time. So picking that back up, did it seem easier for you?
It was kind of hard because we just started leagues. So I just started TAP, which it was the league we play out of Hughes on. And probably 2 or 3 weeks we played there, and then the COVID string hit. So I didn't really get to play anybody competitively, and that's what I was struggling with at that time.
That's kind of the issue, right? Dad, did you notice anything different about Gage versus the other kids? Did he seem like he had some kind of special talent versus the other kids that were playing?
Well, to be honest, we just recently started playing juniors. Everything up until now has been adults. He's been playing.
Oh, okay. So he's only been playing adults up until this past year. Then, just recently.
Yes. The JIC event and the APA juniors thing is the only time I've ever played any juniors kids.
So you've been forced to man up on some of that stuff. Wow. Amazing. What has been your biggest accomplishment so far?
Probably winning the tournament at Q's Billiards. That was my home pool hall, and I kind of wanted to win one of those. It's kind of hard to play in it because it goes so late at night. I mean, I think there were only 27 people in the tournament when I won it, and it still went to 5 in the morning. So
wow. Were they long races or just tough opponents?
It's all handicapped, so.
So you're going to your skill level then?
Yeah, there's a couple people in there that are 15s. So whenever they play, it takes a while, even if they're playing a lower skill level.
Dad, have you noticed any mental fatigue or physical fatigue with Gage when he's there?
Yeah, I mean that's all pool players, not only juniors.
I like that response because a lot of people are worried about the kids. I was like, dude, we can't make it past 4 in the morning either.
And I think with him it's different because I think he plays better under pressure. So
the pressure really isn't a big deal with Gage, you don't think?
It's a big deal, but he can handle it. It's not like it cripples him.
Do you feel like you thrive on the pressure?
To a certain extent. I mean, there's a couple of situations I've been in that I've been under so much pressure that I kind of crumble a little bit. But for the most part, if it's pressure that I can handle and it's not too much, then yeah, I feel like I play better. I take it more seriously when I'm under pressure.
When you're pushed, you're more focused, you feel?
Yeah.
And like his second match at the JIC thing, he was on a TV table with Landon Hollingsworth. So
that's tough action.
Yeah, I mean, it's very tough. And, he did good. He said, man, all I was thinking about was I didn't want to drop a stick.
That was the first, major live stream I've ever been on, really. So it was a little bit nerve-wracking.
For me, I feel like the table plays slightly different when all those lights are on it.
Right.
Yeah.
The table's warmer. You're already nervous. The balls are going to
definitely felt like the pockets weren't taking very well, like compared to some of the other tables.
Right.
A lot more was
Maybe
getting
the
cut
heat
off.
maybe the heat from the lights is causing the issue during the streaming. Who knows? I mean,
Maybe.
it seems everybody's always like, some people play well on a streaming table, some people don't. And I'm like, it's either the pressure or the lights are too hot. And everybody's like, we're going to say it's the lights. We have a comment. Lee Smith, or is it Leah? Is there someone you want to go against specifically, Gage?
Probably one of the locals around I'd want to go against specifically, which is Wesley White. He's on our team. He's a higher skill player than most of the people around Georgia. So I would like to have a rematch with him. I beat him one time I played him, but it wasn't a very even race. He was giving me quite a bit. So
fantastic. I have an Isabel in the chat would like to know. I see some nice looking cues in the background. What cues do you use, Gage?
For the playing cue, I use the Q-Tech Synergy with a Avid Series butt.
Awesome.
Break cue, I use the Q-Tech Breach. And the jump cue, I use the Propel. So
you're a Q-Tech man.
Yes.
Nice. Who is your favorite player and why?
More recently, it's been Tyler Steyer. More because the first time I saw him was in the Moscone Cup, because that's kind of when everybody saw him. But after I watched him, I figured out kind of the story behind it, and I like that he had a really intense drive to get there. Like he had to practice with the team every day, and it was a struggle just to get to the point of being able to practice with the team. And I think he had like a 4-hour drive just to get to the training place. So I just like his dedication to the game to make it at that level.
Nice answer. And I think he would appreciate that, really. I think he would. Very nice answer. Considering that there was so much controversy on the Moscone picks that year, Steyer got in and so did Reinhold, which at that time he was called Robinson. And both of those boys still get a lot of slack about being on the team. But the thing is, we all have to earn it. And those boys earn their spots there just like anybody else did. So, it's up to Matchroom to pick the people for their teams. So the rest of us need to wait in line. Okay, Gage, let's see. Who has been your biggest motivator and support system so far?
Obviously my parents. I mean, they're the ones that drive me financially and everything, and emotionally. I mean, they've been there ever since I started playing tournaments. I mean, they're who I go talk to after a stressful match. They're the first ones I go to. So they've been great emotional and physical support for me. And I mean, also pretty much my whole TAP team. Scott Henderson, he was the first person that let me join their league, because at the time they didn't have very many spots open. So it was kind of just at first I was the only one playing on the team, and then eventually a spot opened up and my dad got to jump in the team and play with us.
That's amazing.
So,
that was karma then. It was a destiny. Dad's like, yes, I get to play with him. That's our common goal in life, to be able to suffocate our children. We want to be a part of your lives forever. We do have another question from the chat. Ms. Smith says, what is your favorite part about playing billiards, Gage?
Running out, folks.
Yeah, I do like running out. I mean, having a break and run is always a good feeling.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite game versus the others?
A 9-ball, definitely. Any rotation game I like a lot. I'll play 8-ball, but I struggle with patience, and I always try and run out, and sometimes the clusters don't allow me to, and I get a little tied up.
Do you feel like you're more of a rhythm player? Then if your patience level with 8-ball, sometimes it's just you can't keep your focus when it comes to 8-ball, especially if you're standing there, playing chess on a pool table. It gets a little boring, I think, to some people.
I
Do
think
you feel it's
sometimes
rhythm or?
really it depends on how I'm playing at the time, because sometimes I almost take it a little too slow. And I try so hard to do specific things that it messes me up, like with breaking out clusters. I try so hard to break them out, and then if I miss, I don't really have any other options on the table. So I have to end up having to play safe or something, and I might mess it up, and the table's open at that point, pretty much.
Dad, do you think he's handling the pressures of playing these grown-ups mentally fairly well?
He's doing a lot better than he used to, yes.
I mean, with age,
he's grown up a lot.
Right. I've been interviewing 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds, and, they get a lot of flack for being upset. And I'm like, well, you have to understand their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And
when it comes with age, you learn.
The better you get, the more you don't get as upset.
Right. So your dad has been a big help with that, I'm sure, learning to just shake it off. I think Joey Gray had told one of the kids, you get 10 seconds to be upset and that's it. Yeah. It goes away after that. You just put it behind you. And I thought that was a very good advice for a young kid. The rest of us, we're thinking, did I leave the iron on right as we're shooting? This is the crazy stuff that we do.
I definitely still get choked up with that. I'm working on moving on in 10 seconds.
It takes, like your dad said, it takes practice. Dad, how long have you been playing pool? Since obviously, it runs in the gene pool here.
I started when I was about 16, and I played a lot in college, and then I didn't play for many, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years, and then he picked it up, and then we started playing again.
How did that make you feel when you noticed he had an interest in billiards, which is something that you never thought they would?
We had a table, in the basement, but he was like 5. I don't know, he was about in the picture when we're both breaking. He's standing on a recycling bin to break those balls. So he dragged his little recycling bin around. And
that's pretty much how we start, I think.
Yep.
Let's see. I do have another question from Isabel. You mentioned a jump cue earlier, Gage. She wants to know, what is a jump cue and how does it help your game?
Basically, a jump cue is it's a cue that is specifically designed for jumping over an object ball. So in pool, it's illegal to what we call scoop a ball, which is going underneath the ball to make it jump up. And a jump cue has a harder tip and it's lighter, so it enables you to pop the cue ball up off of the table.
And she wants to know, are there any risks to using a jump cue?
Yes, a lot of risks, especially in 8-ball. I've jumped at 8 balls before. I get hooked behind the other players, my opponent's balls, and then I try and jump over them to make the 8-ball, and I jump it off the table and lose. There's definitely risks with giving people ball in hand with that same scenario.
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely. And Sharon has a question for you, Gage. What is your favorite tournament? What has been your favorite one?
I really haven't played in that many tournaments, but I will say that the JIC tournament was run very well.
Mr. Hanna does a great job.
Yeah, they do.
Wolford and Raw.
Oh, absolutely. Those two.
Yeah.
Amazing people. And their kids play phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, they do.
Have you had the opportunity to meet either one of the kids? Shane has been all over the media lately with his tournament wins and him being up for the Moscone Cup running.
Yeah, I've met their daughter, Savannah Wolford, but I have not met Shane yet.
I think Shane's a few years older than Savannah.
Yeah, he is. And that's mainly because he's playing on the professional tour.
Right. And Leah has a question for you. Are you better than your dad?
I'll answer that. Yes.
Yeah, I think I've kind of surpassed him.
Yeah.
I think now I'm a 7 in APA and a 5 in TAP. So I'm climbing up the ranks slowly but surely. But yeah, in an even race, I definitely beat him out more often than not.
And another question, Sharon would like to know, are you excited about representing Georgia in the APA Nationals in St. Louis?
Yes, I'm very excited. I've never really done anything that's been specifically sent from like they send you from a league.
Right.
This will be my first experience like representing a certain league from an area.
Well, it's pretty special since you've only been playing for a short period of time. I'm extremely impressed. Like with the other kids, I'm going to do my best to make it to St. Louis for this tournament because a lot of you kids that I've been interviewing will be there. And I'm looking forward to see which one of you snaps this off. There's some great kids out there, and it could be anybody that snaps that off. Anybody. Yep. And Miss Sharon would like to know, how many hours do you practice a day or a week? Gage?
I try. I mean, now I try to get at least an hour in a day. I kind of juggling things around right now because I work 2 days a week and then I do college classes. So it's a little bit of a struggle right now to practice, but I do my best to get at least an hour in a day most of the time.
That's pretty good. And you're also playing league once or twice a week?
Once a week for TAP and then once a month for APA.
Okay, so you're getting a little bit of competition time in there, so
yeah,
that helps.
Well, and we play just about every night.
Yeah.
We'll
okay,
do
so
at least
you're
a race to 7 or something like that.
Okay, so you're actually factoring in some play time in between your regular life. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. I do have some more questions for you. What has been your biggest lesson so far?
I would say definitely controlling emotions. From a young age, I've struggled with that. You don't want to throw a temper tantrum on the pool table because eyes are always watching. So.
Absolutely, especially mine. I'll hear about it.
He's getting a lot better at it, though. He's making people sling balls around the table, so he's making them have the temper tantrum instead of him.
Right. Dad, have you had any issues with some of these venues allowing Gage to play in their tournaments?
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of places we can't play.
Could you, I mean, you don't have to name any places. We're not trying to get any places shut down or causing any drama. We're just trying to get the word out there, ladies and gentlemen, that there's nowhere for these kids to play. So
it's due to the smoking.
Right.
I think more than the alcohol, because if it's just the alcohol, they can tattoo his arm with "Do Not Serve," you know.
Right.
But I think it's more the smoking. I think
I'm assuming the state of Georgia is like the state of Alabama. If there is a child under, I think, the age of 19 and it's a smoking venue, even if they serve food and call themselves a bar and grill, the kids still are not allowed in there if they're smoking in the venues. Is that correct?
I think so.
I'm assuming.
It must be. I don't know.
Possibly. Gage, do you feel like do you feel like when you do get to play in some of these tournaments with these adults that they don't want you there?
Oh, no, never. I mean, you get a couple weird looks every now and again because it's not normal for a 16-year-old or even at that time, 14 or 15.
Right.
So you get some weird looks, but all of them have been respectful and I've never had, I mean, obviously you have the couple people that get a little too emotionally involved in pool.
Well, that's good. Dad, have you run into any issues taking him to certain tournaments so far?
No.
Good.
I mean, everywhere we've been, I mean, once they see him play, it's not, it's not like, oh, well, here's another kid coming in.
Right. It's not. We're not wasting your time, people. He can play.
Right. I mean, within the
practice.
first 5 minutes, they know something's going on.
Well, you may have a little respect too in the pool community since you do play yourself, and you guys are getting back out there. I'm pretty sure that word gets around that you have a kid that's a prodigy, almost.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you got a kid that can run balls just like a man. I mean, it's not his fault. This is what he loves to do, and we're going to continue to do it. So fantastic. Leah Smith says, "We are huge Gage fans and are definitely cheering for him." Do you know this Leah Smith?
Yes, she's my mom's friend.
We appreciate the questions, Leah, and we appreciate the support. Making sure you're telling your friends that this kid's going somewhere. All right. And Miss Sharon says, "Sounds like you are very committed. Wonderful to see in a young man." Yes, it is. And these kids, all of these kids that have been interviewed, have a special place for me. I mean, you guys are doing such a wonderful job, and that's the thing that the parents are not giving enough credit. You guys are, not only are you supporting your juniors, you're also taking the time to teach them what it's like to be in an adult world. And it's difficult when they're so young because they're like sponges. They soak it all in, and you don't want them acting like a disrespectful person, especially when they get to some of these major tournaments. So congratulations, Dad. You're doing a fantastic job. Okay, you have one more. Trey Darn says, "Great interview. Pulling for you, Gage. Pulling for you." Okay, let's see. What is one tournament you would like to attend and why?
I would say the U.S. Open. It's always been one of the tournaments that I've kind of been pulled towards to play in. I would say the Moscone Cup, but there's obviously a little bit of improvement to be made before that happens because it's the top players in the country. So you have to be a little better than I am currently.
Well, you never know. Maybe with this interview or some of you other kids that are out there and you say, look, we need something. We want to play on this team, but not all of us are going to, we're not all bowling fantastically here, so we need more events, right?
Yeah.
But absolutely, I've been to the U.S. Open in Virginia, and it's a very nice tournament. So I look forward to seeing you show up there, Gage. I look forward to it. Okay, let's see. What is after high school? You said you intend on furthering your education. What is your major, if you mind me asking?
HVAC. So heating and cooling. That's basically what it is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good money in that. I mean, so many people in the South do not like to be hot. Especially today. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And Trader says, "This is Nelson and Shelley. Where is your favorite place you've played, Gage?"
I'm gonna have to circle back to Q's. They're the first ones that allowed me to be there, so it's my
huge shout out to Q's. We appreciate you guys taking care of Gage. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for allowing these kids to come into your venue. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Have your grades ever suffered from any of these tournaments or these long APA hours, your league hours?
No, not personally, because I'm kind of on a tight schedule with school and pool and all other things I do. I mean, like today I did schoolwork from 9 to 4-ish. So there's times for pool and other activities, and then there's time for school. So
awesome.
I've kept an AB average pretty much throughout high school and college. So
good going. Dad, have you noticed any drops or any issues with him playing and also keeping his grades up or going after all of his dreams?
Mama won't let that happen.
I bet she won't. I wouldn't either. Gage, do you currently have a practice regime? Do you have a certain drill that you do?
Actually, this book right here, Guaranteed Improvement right here, by Joe Tucker. There's a lot of drills that I run in here, and they also have a rating system to where you can keep track of how many balls you make and how well you're doing the drill, and it'll give you a rating of not really how good of a pool player you are, just how you're stacking up.
Dad, do you also use this same method?
No. The method I use is knock them around and hope they go in.
Hit it and pray.
That's it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Gage, one down-to-earth question here. Do you feel the junior players have the support that they need from the media, the tournament directors, and the venues? Do you think we're doing and even sponsors, do you think we're doing enough for the junior players, or do you feel like we need to do more?
I feel like you guys are doing a good job right now. There's definitely improvement to be made, as with all things. But it's the pool for junior media and tournament directors and stuff like that is very small right now. I mean, obviously, but yeah, it's not really a quality control issue. It's there needs to be more of it. Yeah.
We need more tournaments for you kids.
Yeah.
Maybe more tournaments during the summer so that you're not taking time out of school. Maybe that's what we need to focus on. And getting pool tables in school would probably help.
Yeah, and it's not even really just a junior thing. Just like tournaments that allow juniors to play in them. It doesn't have to be specifically geared towards juniors.
Right. Just more places the kids can go.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Absolutely. What advice would you give to a newcomer to the game of billiards?
Definitely get comfortable with the drill book. They might not be fun, but that's definitely what you got to run if you want to get better. Yeah, straight in shots, stop shots, follow into the pocket.
Awesome.
Because if you watch juniors, the worst thing they ever do in life is have a straight in shot and follow that cue ball into the pocket.
I've been notorious for that myself.
Every time it kills them.
Right.
And then it's over with from there. I mean, so stop shots, straight in stop shots. Definitely.
I have another question from the audience. Was it hard to be such a high number in APA? Was that a hard climb for you, Gage, or was it?
It's been a very rapid climb because I haven't really played APA that long. But they had me start as a 4, and then they kind of saw that I was pretty good, so they bumped me up to a 6, and then now I'm a 7. So it's just most of the junior players in our area are pretty young, so obviously they're going to be a little lower ratings.
Right.
So, I mean, I have to go to 55 balls, and I think they have to go to 19, and some of them have to go to 14. So, I mean, you definitely have to keep your mental game strong because I can break and run 3 racks, and they can make 4 balls, and we'll be tied for the rating system.
Okay.
So.
And another question from Sharon. It says, was it hard to be, well, that was the one that we just did. What was the pressure like to have to get to 55 points? If you're playing someone, there we are. If you're playing someone that is, say, a 4, a skill level 4, how much do you feel that pressure trying to get to 55 points before that 4 gets to theirs?
Yeah, I feel a lot more pressure playing lower skill level players than any top level player I've ever played. There's definitely a learning curve to be had there because I mean I'm pretty new to the whole being the best pool player in that pool hall thing.
Right.
And
you're kind of shoved there in the front and they're all staring at you.
Yeah, basically. And it's just you're under constant pressure because they could get up there and sink 2 balls and they're pretty far along their scoring.
Right.
Feels like they're almost there when they make like 2 or 3 balls in a rack. So
absolutely, that's a lot of pressure because I mean, if you're not even halfway there and they're on a roll, you're sitting there sweating that.
Yep.
And not to mention, Dad and Mom are biting their nails off, going, "Oh God." Oh, okay. Isabel says, "Do you think TV stations like ESPN, Bally Sports, or TBS should start streaming pool?"
Yeah, that's the only way to grow the sport. the best it's ever been is when it was on TV, late night
Absolutely.
on ESPN. I think that's the only way to have interest in pool, because like on YouTube, there's really only pool players watching pool on YouTube. You're not really
Right.
going to get it popped up on your feed unless you're interested in the sport.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to get the word out there. Most of our issue is they are seeing pool as a game and not a sport.
Yeah.
If you look up pool, it will say that it's a game, just like I think badminton and some other ones they're just games apparently.
Yeah.
But you also have games like chess that are on ESPN.
Right.
And they're playing, what is that, cornhole on ESPN.
Yeah. Cornhole's begun to be pretty popular lately.
Right. So we have to beat out cornhole, and I think we do. Personally. Jessica wants to know, do you like 10 ball at all, Gage? Does that
yeah, I do like 10 ball. I almost like it more than 9 ball because there's not very much. I mean, it's calling your shots, so there's no hackery going on.
That's a lot of. That's some pressure too. How is your 10 ball break, Gage?
Right now the break is being worked on. Let's just say that.
All those. I mean, from what I understand, Shane Van Boning will break for several hours. That's all he will practice on. I mean, could you imagine that's all you did all day long, William? Could you imagine just breaking?
No, I could not.
The joints would be hurting.
Yeah.
My gosh. And let's see. If you could speak to someone with unlimited funds, Gage, and they said, take this money and actually split it up and do with it what you need to do with it to bring the juniors up a little further down the pole. We need to push the juniors a little higher up. If you had unlimited funds to do that, what would you do with that money? If I said, Gage, I'm going to let you do this and you designate where this needs to go, where would you put it?
I would definitely start putting pool tables in like parks and recreation centers. I mean, the only way you're going to have that interest is it being around. And there aren't very many pool tables around young children. I mean, you might have one like at a restaurant every now and again or something. But definitely something to spark that interest. As far as unlimited funds, definitely tournaments. There need to be more tournaments available.
If there's more added money, they will come.
Yeah, everybody will.
Yeah.
Right. And I think maybe we could do more scholarships for kids, because technically the sponsors don't want to hand kids a bunch of money. So if we could do scholarships for you guys, maybe a travel fund, for you to get to other tournaments or any kind of fund, let's take this money and donate it to a school, for these kids in his name. We could do anything with that money. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And one more says, Gage, do the hours of playing make your back tired or your shoulders or your neck? Do you notice any fatigue physically?
Yes, definitely. My shoulder blades get really tired. My back, it's kind of, it did hurt a lot in the beginning, like when I started really practicing, and like if I take a break or something, it starts hurting. But my shoulder blade has been something that always hurts if I play for a long period of time.
Okay. So, I know that some of the professional players get massages from time to time, especially if they're playing during a tournament where they're tense because of, the stress and everything. A lot of them will opt for some type of massage or a heating pad on their shoulder or anything, something to that extent. Just like in any other sport, I think you probably have to ice it and put some heat on it, I would assume. Yeah. I had issues with my shoulder when I would play in my neck. It was the way I was holding my cue, and that's just how I learned how to play. So some of it is because I was doing it wrong, and then some of it was just from practicing hours like you do. Is the same. Another question. Sharon wants to know, how important is defense to your game, Gage?
Defense is something that I've picked up pretty recently. When I was earlier on in my pool career, I definitely thought that safeties were not something for a bad pool player.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
He said that's cheating. I don't do that.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to run out constantly. But more recently, I've noticed that all of the top players, their safeties are just, they lock you up in every position. There's nowhere to kick or jump. And if you can practice that and utilize that, that's definitely something that's very important. And
Right. Those Filipino players have that defense down pat. If they can't run out, they're locking you in jail.
Yeah.
We've got some funnies. Isabel said Dad needs to start giving massages in between matches. He takes tips, ladies and gentlemen. He takes tips. Okay. Final question. Then I would love to see you hit some balls, Gage.
All right.
If you could fast forward 10 years, where do you see yourself?
I mean, as much as I would love to say professional, that's definitely an option up on the table. But working in HVAC, like I'm going to school for, would definitely be something I would be doing.
And playing pool.
I mean, it's always going to be a part of my life. I'm always going to play in leagues and do all that if the professional career doesn't end up working out. But yeah, that's
So
pretty
he's
much.
open, guys. You never know. This kid might change his mind in a couple of years and move to Canada and become a snooker player. You never know. What is your favorite size table to play on, Gage?
I definitely like 9-foot tables a lot more. I mean, I like 7-footers just because of the pure fact that it makes the game a lot easier coming down from a 9-footer to a 7-foot table. But definitely my comfort level is at a 9-foot table. It's where I get to release my stroke a little more, and I don't have to play quite as tight.
Nice. Well, if you don't mind setting up a practice drill for us while I talk to Dad for a second. If you'll set that up, I'll have a few questions for Dad.
So we'd like to give a few thanks to people.
Sure, you go right ahead.
Q's in Marietta, East LJ Pool Hall for the APA, Raw Hanna and Corey Wolford for JIC, Ian and everybody at Q-Tech for a great product and amazing customer service, and Thomas Van Eck for making the IQ training ball. It's great. It's helped him a lot. It's helped us a lot. It's instant feedback, and I can almost guarantee you 90% of the people are not hitting where they think they're hitting on the cue ball.
So you're getting a nice recommendation here from one of the kids' dad. So if he says try it, you might want to try it, guys. Especially if you got juniors out there, for sure.
Yeah, IQ cue ball.
Dad, do you see him gaining in billiards? Do you see a future in this for him?
I mean, yes, I do. I think he's getting better every day. He's definitely a lot better than he was a year ago. So I think if he stays at it, he can do what he does.
Well, I look forward to seeing you both up in St. Louis for sure.
Absolutely.
William, Isabel wants to know what is a cue ball?
A cue ball is the ball that you actually. Oh, you mean the IQ training ball?
Yes, the IQ ball. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Could you explain that, Gage?
Yeah, this is actually I have a different one too. They make multiple variations of it, but this is the original, and it's basically a cue ball with a little diagram almost on it, and it tells you where you're hitting on the cue ball. So a lot of people think they're hitting maximum draw, and they use this thing, and then they figure out that they're hitting center ball or something or putting unintentional spin that they're not meaning to put on it. So that's what it is. And this one's just black. It just makes the chalk pops a little more. You can see.
So you'll be able to see it better?
Yeah, so you can see it when you hit it.
Okay. Which color do you like better, Gage, when you're practicing?
I like the black just because the color pops more.
What color chalk are you using?
I use great white chalk.
Okay.
From Alsville.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been.
Big
I've
shout out to Chris
experimented a lot.
Renfro from Outsville. Go ahead.
I've experimented a lot with chalk. I'm usually bouncing back and forth between Master Chalk and Outsville, Great White. So
Okay.
that's usually what I use.
And it shows up on that color ball fairly
Yeah,
well, so you can
pretty
check
much
it out.
every chalk will. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So go ahead and hit like a draw shot.
All you new people out there that's looking for some help, you might want to invest in this cue. It should help your game quite well.
So he's gonna hit a draw shot and show you what it does. So now you look
and
at
that's
the
what
ball.
draw is, ladies and gentlemen. For all you people
Now
out
you look
there
at
that
the cue
don't
ball,
know.
and I almost hit
See it? Right
right there. So
That way you guys know how he hit that ball to make it move backwards that way.
yeah,
That is
and I
exact
almost hit
spot.
that a little too center. Like I could have gone lower on that ball without miscuing.
Yes, absolutely. But you put a lot of you had a stroke on that one.
Yeah.
Aaron asked, "Do you like it better when you break or you're opening?"
I definitely like breaking. It gives you the first opportunity to run out. So anytime you have the opportunity to do anything in pool, you want to be the first at it.
I think everybody wants that break first, just to
Yeah.
see if there's an opportunity for a great layout in order to run out. I mean,
Yeah.
it gives you a better percentage of getting
There's not
back.
very many lag winners that'll give their opponent the break.
Right. I'm not doing it.
No, definitely not.
Jessica, she wants to know, is it hard to use a jump cue in APA?
You don't in APA. You're not allowed to use them. Actually,
That is a no-no. You're not allowed to switch cues during an APA match at all.
No,
you have to use the cue that you're playing with throughout the entire match.
Yes.
They might mean that is it difficult to make the transition to not using it.
Oh, yeah. If that's what the question is, then yeah, definitely. Because jumping is definitely a huge part of my game. I have won a lot of matches off of making a strategic jump shot that if I was kicking, I could probably hit the ball, but I couldn't make it.
So you're working on those kicking shots. Do you play banks at all?
No, I don't play banks.
Only when he gets out of shape.
Yeah. I've never really played it much. I played it once with somebody at JIC. They walked up to me and asked. But I haven't played it personally. I'm not.
What about one pocket?
I'll play one pocket if somebody asks to play it, but for me it's a little slow. It's fun when you're playing a really good player. When you're playing a really good player in one pocket, it's fun to just watch them play, pretty much.
Right. Well, if you catch any of these streams coming up in the next week or so, some of the best one pocket players are coming out of Texas right now, and then they will be in New Orleans, and I'll make sure I send those links out to you guys. Some fantastic one pocket players. If Josh Roberts ever comes back into Atlanta, watch his one pocket game, and he will actually commentate if you guys are actually out there, and he'll actually explain it to you. I was never a big one pocket player. I never really enjoyed watching it either until I sat down and listened to Josh Roberts explain it to me. And the eloquence that he uses when he explains it draws you in, and you can't get enough once you learn the strategics to it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let him hit some balls. So you set up like a normal practice routine for us and run those balls out for us, Gage.
All right.
I'm going to blow this up to a single for you guys so that way you can see the table better. So I'll pop back in shortly. You go right ahead, Gage.
All righty. Yeah, so basically, here, I'll set it up. These are kind of more simple shots, but it gets me kind of focused up, and it tells me like the speed of the cloth and if certain stun shots will work on that particular cloth. So I just set them up in a line, and I kind of play a light draw shot. And this is also good for stunning because you can kind of gauge how the rails play and all that. You're a little bit out of shape there, but it's definitely a huge help for learning a table. They're not super hard shots. They can. It basically just gets you warmed up for harder shots, and you get into that more further down the line of the kind of practice regiment almost. So that's basically what I do most of the time before a match. I don't run drills very often before a match, to be honest. I'm more like just throw a couple balls out there and put them out. But I will do straight in shots and stuff like that before a match too, just to get my stroke in stroke. But yeah, I basically just throw a couple balls out there and try my best to run them out.
So we play with Dynasphere balls as well.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that's the Dynaspheres are pretty good balls.
Okay. That was the shot Dad told you not to do.
That was the new player shot.
My goodness. Do you have any siblings, Gage, that play pool?
None that play pool. I do have a sister, but she is not too keen on the pool playing thing.
I hear you. Do you have any other hobbies besides pool?
I enjoy fishing. I fish with my grandfather a lot. I actually just finished a tournament with him.
Oh, congratulations. How did you place? How did you guys do?
Middle of the pack, basically. We caught, the limit is 5 fish, and we caught 4.
Oh, okay. My little brother is one of those fisherman people. I did the pool. He does the fish. He's a bass fisherman. He loves it. He says, I love being out there on the water. I just love it. He said, you like the pool rooms, I like the water. I was like, okay.
It's definitely a nice change of pace.
You're going to turn into another Shane Van Boning on us and start showing us giant fish? Scott Frost is doing the same thing. You can see him out there with these giant fish. I was like, wow, you guys are something. I
Dan Appleton's out there doing it too.
I expected golf, but not fishing. I guess anything to get out of the pool room. Well, it's been a pleasure, Gage. And William, thank you so much for allowing me to interview your son. It's been an amazing hour, actually, getting to know your family. Mom, you've done a wonderful job. Your son is such a sweet kid.
I usually handle pool. This guy handles everything pool related. So this is their thing, but I'm super proud of him.
Well, I hope I get to meet you guys in St. Louis if my schedule clears. It would be a pleasure to get to know you guys, face to face instead of a camera separating us. Yeah. I'm going to do my closing remarks, guys, and I will be right back. This has been Gage and his family, and it's been a fantastic honor to have them on the show. So if you guys give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back.
All righty.
Thank you.
Like I said, guys and gals, it takes a village to raise these kids into phenomenal pool players. And, we're all going to have to do our part. We just need more venues in order for them to have the exposure that they desire. They just want to play. Most of these kids, they have a passion like most of us do as adults. And unfortunately, they're limited to where they can play. So we need your help. what we need you guys to do is keep sharing these kids' videos. And if you work for a media, please share these videos to your bosses and let them know. Say, look, our kids, we enjoy playing this, and it's a safe place for them to play. They need safe places to play, and we need more sponsorship. So if you guys would like to sponsor any one of these kids that I've been showing on these videos, contact myself, Adam Grusella, or Nick DeLeon, and we'll be more than happy to get you in touch with these parents of these phenomenal kids. Well, that's it for our show tonight, guys and gals, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. with another kid. Stay tuned. I'm going to run Gage's video. I'm going to run his video one more time. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you again for coming on our stream tonight and supporting our juniors.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb,